ghostly ride, my children! You're well aware by now how I feel about the cape and costume crowd. So it's always important to spotlight when they do things right. Having characters who are ghosts or vampires or monstrous abominations. Take, for instance, the Gentleman Ghost. The Trade is a collection of the final issues of the early 2000s Justice Society of America book. It was getting a high-profile relaunch soon after, but we don't concern ourselves with that. Or the fact that the first issue is a tie-in to the event comic Infinite Crisis. That's not what concerns us. We're concerned with ghosts, my children. The dead who cannot rest. And their love of high fashion. The first issue is a flashback told through Earth 2 Lois Lane's notes about the Justice Society trying to protect gems and artifacts from the Gentleman Ghost, whom they don't believe to be a real spirit, and yet he could disappear at will, become intangible, even escape Wonder Woman's lasso, which harmed him, but they never found out exactly what he was after. 1 year later, the JSA and their families begin having ghostly visions of dead loved ones. Or in the case of Dr. Midnight, patients he failed to save. The JSA meet and compare notes, where the Gentleman Ghost appears and tells them that he is responsible. He always gives a warning when they're going to die. None can touch him, and while most of the JSA believes him to be simply an illusionist, Jakeem Thunder's genie, the Thunderbird, confirms that he is an actual ghost. Throughout the story, we get flashbacks to the Gentleman Ghost's, or Jim Craddock's, childhood and life in the 1800s. The son of a gentleman and a servant, discarded by said gentleman for fear of scandal, on swearing that he would become a gentleman and get the life both he and his mother deserved. She died and he became a thief, but decided to be a gentleman of the highway if he could not get a real nobleman's position. And it seems the dead thought the same. Ghosts recruiting him to be an apprentice in the trade, leading to his life as Gentleman Jim Craddock, the legendary highwayman. The ghost makes several attacks on the JSA, threatening their loved ones in the process. Seeking answers, Jakeem Thunder travels to the land of the dead and confronts the ghost, but he summons up spirits of his own to counter him and his genie. The Thunderbolt brings out long-dead heroes to aid his human companion, a ghostly Batman from Earth 2 suggesting that Jakeem might have better luck hunting down the gentleman via where he was born, not in the realm of the dead. Aww, but the realm of the dead is so much cooler! Craddock eventually met his end at a hangman's noose, swearing that he would return. They even let him keep his monocle while they hung him. Consider it! Part of his curse, though, was that when his most hated enemies were in the castle of the king, should they die, he shall live again. And thus his whole plan, luring the JSA to the Tower of London in the hopes of killing them and finally restoring him to life after 200 years. Mr. Terrific soon understands why some of the JSA can harm him and some can't. He can only be hurt by those who have noble ancestry, which shockingly includes pugilist Wildcat as well. Unfortunately, that will be of little help as Craddock summons an army of ghosts to attack JSA headquarters, forcing Green Lantern to have to retreat back to it while the others fight Craddock at Windsor Castle. Still, inside of a chapel there, Craddock's second army of ghosts finds resistance from the ghosts of ancient knights, allowing Wildcat to deliver the finishing blow to the gentleman, a sword dispelling him. While the JSA Brownstone is destroyed, everyone else's lives are saved. So, you know, an unhappy ending for people like me who were rooting for the ghost. But for those of you who prefer colorful heroes as opposed to the dead, I suppose you get to enjoy a victory for the good guys.
We hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of Longbox of the Damned. Make sure to keep your jack-o'-lanterns lit, and remember to stay tuned.